What's going on, guys? It's Miles back with another live stream. Today's live stream is going to be a little bit more, we're going to be all over the place. We're going to be talking about society as a whole. So that involves talking about women, that involves talking about work, that involves talking about and encompassing the whole society. So today's talk will be intellectual, will require some thinking to come from you. So as you guys are watching the replay, as you guys are coming in here, please do not hesitate to hit the like button. Go check out after this live stream, please go check out my past live stream that was about um, how women are burdens and distractions for men. That's a very important live stream for most men to go back and watch. So after we get into today's topic, you're more than welcome to check out that the live stream from yesterday. Very eye-opening. Society is in a very interesting place right now, and anybody that has two eyes and two ears, you can see it clearly, unless you're living under a rock somewhere. It's no, our culture, our societal culture is deteriorating at an accelerated pace. What's going on, Brandy Morris? As you guys come in here, please hit the like button so we can get more people in here for this live stream. Very important message. We've gotten to a space to where society, the average person, is not a good person. It's up to you. What's going on, Dead Man? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hopefully my content has been really good to you, been bringing you a lot of value. That's the goal of my channel, to bring some value to you guys and to, say things out loud that maybe you've been thinking, but you thought you were crazy. No, you aren't crazy. You're not going through this alone. Society right now is extremely weird. It's upside down. A lot of things in society just do not make sense anymore. And it just is what it is. It has helped me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate that, Dead Man. What's going on, Hype Core? What's going on, man? Um, Glad we got some new people in here on this lunchtime, Central Time in the United States. Hopefully, you guys been having a good weekend. Good. I've been doing all right, man. I've been doing all right. You know, I went to the zoo yesterday, and just looking around at people, looking at the animals. It's quite weird, right? Where animals put other animals in cages. But it's been good. I can't complain. Hopefully, you guys' weekends have been going good. We got the 4th of July coming up, so it's going to be an off day for the majority of people. But yeah, society is in an interesting place right now. We don't know if we're up or down, left or right. It's like we're in an idiocracy. What's going on, introvert? How's your Sunday going? Everybody's everybody seems to be having a good Sunday. That's good. Even though today's live stream might be a little bit of, I wouldn't say negative. It's just kind of just talking about reality, and we engaging on what we're noticing and seeing in societies and comparing notes. It's been good, man. I can't complain. I feel rested. I feel ready to get after it. Ready to get after it. So as you guys please come in, please double tap the screen and hit the like button so we can get more people in here. But let's get back into the topic of today's live stream. You guys see the thumbnail. You guys see how society is right now. Nothing makes sense. We live in a backwards way at every level in society. We always talking about women and relationships, but really in everywhere in society. We got to talk about, what we see in not only relationships, but the work culture, what we see just dealing with everyday people. And we've gotten to a space in society where the average person is not a good person. We've convinced the average person through media, pop culture, the news, all these different outlets, we've convinced the average person to be a bad person. Brandy Morris says society as we know it is very opportunistic. They're also very hard headed. Tell me about it. And that's the problem. Like talking to today's modern culture people in the West, it's like talking to a brick wall. You're not going to get them to change their lifestyle, even though they might have ill health. They're not getting what they want out of life, and you can see that their life is deteriorating right in front of their eyes. You still can't get to them and talk to them. It's quite ridiculous. And they're just going to double down on being stupid. Introvert writes, there is something on the internet talking about how B. Simone shopping at H&M because she ran out of money or something. Is that true? I'm going to make a reaction video to that today. I'm going to probably put it out tomorrow. But I've heard the same things. I haven't really dove too much into it. I did see that she had lost a lot of money. Now, I don't know why. I don't know how she had a whole bunch of money to begin with, because didn't she start off on Wild and Out? So, but anyway, back to the core subject. The average person is not a good person. What do you mean, Miles? The average person is not a good person. Well, through all the different memes I just named, the average person, it's cool. The average person is a degenerate, meaning that it's cool. We've gotten to a space to where it's cool to be a degenerate. Back in high school when you were the kid trying to study and get your grades right so you can go to college. Well, the nerds and the nerds got made fun of. Basically, the kids that wanted to focus on their studies and focus on playing sports and all this different stuff. You were looked down upon in college and in high school if you weren't trying to uh, be the most popular kid, be the most coolest kid at the school. You weren't smoking marijuana, drinking, drifting in life with no goals, you know, wearing whatever what was popular in pop culture. You were considered lame, made fun of. You got no respect. That's how bad society has gotten. We're doing the right thing, that common sense, right thing is looked down upon. Having discipline, having strength, motivation, intelligence, emotional intelligence. And then you have people that are degenerates complaining that they don't have enough money, that they're not getting what they want out of life. It's because of your lifestyle. Yeah, that's true, introvert. I mean, but that just lets you know how lost the modern woman is. Like, right? Like we're gonna get into these women in a second, but I mean, it's just like the same script. These women really are herd animals. They do the exact same. They dress the same. They have the same talking points, the same ideology. Like the modern woman is just completely uninteresting. They're all clones. So the reason why the average person is not a good person is because it's cool to be a degenerate. A lot of you guys, you can't get a woman because you ain't a bad boy. You ain't willing to get your drugs and do some illegal activities to get a woman. The average person is not a good person. You know, the things that men typically, traditionally, and throughout the time immemorial that we've respected and liked, you know, things like loyalty, integrity, and trust, is completely evaporated, eliminated, and gone from society. It does not exist. Guys, a lot of the people that you call friends, a lot of the family members that you call family, um, they're not your family and they're not your friends. And you're like, Miles, well, how could you say such a thing? How do you know that? Well, if you've never tested them, if you haven't tested your loyalty in your friendship, the trust in your friendship, or within your family, when the bullets get to flying, you're gonna look around and text people and call people, and they're not gonna answer. And it's because you didn't test the loyalty. And if you don't test it, how do you know what you really have? Because if you would have tested it, you would have known that they were never there. They were never your friends. It was just convenient to be your friend because you're doing well in life. They want to be a part of it. Your family. They just do that because, you know, they want to keep the peace. They want to keep the. But whenever behind closed doors, when you guys leave, they don't care about you. We hear these stories all too often. Think about all the people. You know what's crazy? Think about all the people that betrayed P. Diddy. And you know what the crazy part is? Diddy's about to get out. He's probably about to beat that case. Introvert writes this: there is something called the seven trumpets, which characterizes the different types of catastrophe events, which is a sign that humanity should repent for their sins before it's too late or something. He continue writes: if a female doesn't want a man because he's not a bad boy, or he's corny or lame, that ain't the type of female you should be entertaining anyway. That's true. But what if those females are at a higher percentage? I doubt Diddy is getting out of prison. Bro, have you been watching it? Have you been, bro? You need to go back and look at that case, bro. They're saying that he legitimately could win that case because um, Cassie and them, they weren't forced to do these things. The defense came up with a hell of a case. And so Diddy might be the first person to ever beat the feds outright, which is crazy. That's insane, bro. Like I said, the justice system, the legal system, all of this stuff, it's not, it's not, it's not about justice. It's not about integrity. That just shows you it's another sign of the times. Society is deteriorating. That would be one hell of a Uno reverse if Diddy beat them charges. Brandy, I don't know what happened. It's probably the Google Corporation. You probably got to type it whatever you typed, and type it in, or you got to either misspell the words that are controversial or something, or because it's not me retracting your statement. It's something what Google does. The three main stages of life: arches and illusion, money, fame, and power, because they all loop back into each other. Facts. Brandy, you spitting facts this afternoon. You spitting facts this afternoon. Introvert further writes, also, Cassie ain't innocent either. She wanted that type of lifestyle. I don't care what race she is. Exactly. And so that case is going to fall apart. It's already falling apart. You know what's crazy, guys? And I want you guys' opinions on this. How could you be Cassie's husband after all that stuff got leaked out? Homie, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. If I was dating a chick and she was involved with P. Diddy, period, or, you know, we got married and then all this stuff comes out, that this is the stuff she was doing with P. Diddy, I would drop her where she stood. I don't care about them kids. Bro, I'm just being real. Homie, I would fall back. I would ghost, disappear. Mhm. Well, the race don't really matter. I see what you're trying to say though, but hey, bro, ain't no way in hell. All that stuff come out. I would have left Cassie yesterday. Yeah, he's an idiot. He's a simp too. And this is how goofy. This is how upside down the world is, right? You know, the women on the internet and TikTok and all that stuff, they're championing him because he's the guy that will put up with all of a woman's BS. See, a masculine man that keeps women accountable is looked down upon. The simp that just accepts whatever she has, the guy that allow her to cheat and then, say he loves her and come back to her, that's the guy that they love. That lets you know what time it is in society. Homie, she was doing all that stuff because she loved P. Diddy. That's insane, homie. I would have dropped her where she stood. Absolutely disgusting. And she didn't get forced to do it. She wanted to do it at some degree. Or either she didn't want to do it, or she did it because she loved P. Diddy, because she's been dating P. Diddy for years, trying to get married for years. And he would just never do it. It's because, she'd be willing to do anything for the money to get that. But yeah, back to the lack of loyalty, integrity, and trust in society. Have you guys been noticing that in the major cities in the West, all of them are just a sanctuary for uh, the story in the Bible of Sodom and Gomorrah? Like the last few true Americans that are living a healthy lifestyle are probably in the rural areas, the country people. If you go to the cities, the level of degeneracy that I was talking about earlier, about the average person being a degenerate, you're going to see this skyrocket in the cities. The level of delusion in women, you're going to see this skyrocket in the cities. The cities are faltering. the big cities. They're the canary in the coal mine for what's to come in the overall country. So you guys check this out. So I was talking um, recently, and you'd be shocked how many people have had their in the cities. It's all in the cities. You'd be shocked at how many people have had their cars broken into and either stolen or just people going through their stuff. And so I've heard these stories from friends and other strangers, um, and we have to admit at this point that the police force, they're highly ineffective. They're extremely ineffective. I don't know if it's because they got their hands tied with what they can and can't do from whatever is stemming from the hierarchy within their system. But people have had their whole cars stolen from them, and the apartment won't help them. People won't help them give up the footage to find these guys. The cops will be like, well, you report to the cops, and they'll be like, well, um, we've noticed that these people have been doing this, and it's a common thing, and it's just like, so if you guys know it's a gang of men, it's a few gangs, you know the name of the gangs. Why aren't you guys stopping these people? It doesn't. What's going on, Beso? Beso, what's going on? Bipping cars. Oh, it's everywhere. Introvert said it in the Bay Area. We call it bipping cars. Bro, it's everywhere, bro. And the cops won't do nothing about it, brother. The apartment won't do anything about it. The cops won't do anything about it, bro. And it's just like, well, what's the point of having these systems if you guys aren't going to stop the stuff? Like I said, society is deteriorating. There's no community. You're a cop. You're a police. You're supposed to serve the community. You're an apartment. You're supposed to serve your residents. Make sure they're safe. Make sure that this is a safe space. But everybody's. That's what I was talking about on my rant last week. When it comes to work culture, our work culture is such terrible that most people suck at their job. They suck. They're just doing the bare minimum, lazy as hell. Introvert says you can't solely rely on cops. Hell no, you can't. We need to go back to living in tribes, bro. Like the Amish. Because if you live amongst people that you love, friends, family that you love and vetted and know each other, you know their families. You guys are all married. The men in that whole tribe aren't going to allow anything stupid to go on. And if there is something, those men in that tribe, they're going to fight with a lot of vigor. They're going to fight with a lot of motivation because this is the land that they own, the land and people that they respect and love. We're living backwards, bro. Um, Introvert, they probably defund them, and that's the problem. Um, even if they were fully funded, you still can't rely on the cops fully. They got their hands tied. We think the cops are just capable of stopping everything. You guys have to realize the cops, they work for the elite, they work for the wealthy, and so they manage priorities. So you guys have to think, if Jerry Jones calls the cops, and you call the cops for the same thing, something stole something from Jerry Jones and somebody stole something from you, they're going to go to Jerry Jones first. That's the harsh reality about the cops in this world and society that we live in. Let me get this chat in from Brandy. She has two chats in. But anyways, like I was saying, the main three things like life, money, and fame are built to keep us Americans built into the ground. As long as these three things are still these I'm done messed up your whole chat. But as long as those are three things still stand, the world will become more corrupt as those three things in life become more major until eventually the whole entire world will plummet into chaos, folding on itself. There's some truth in that. Good thing that the Second Amendment exists for a reason. Hey, bro, you better be living in a stand your ground state or a mutual combat state. But that's the problem with the government. Like, you guys do know, right? Like, if somebody like breaks into your home and you delete them, they could be in your home trying to take something out of your home, and you can delete them on the spot. And you, if they don't have a weapon on them, a firearm on them, and you just deleted them because they were trying to steal something, the government will say, well, that's manslaughter. You're going to get two, three, you're not going to get 50 years in prison, but you're going to get 5 years in prison. And you were just defending your property and defending your own. That's just how upside down society is. Those times are long gone. We are run by our government. Exactly, homie. And that's why, see, you guys want to know why? This is going to be a very important subject, very eye opening subject for all you guys watching this and watching on the replay. What Introvert just said, those times are gone. We are run by the government, meaning that how the Amish live, when tribes and all that, that time is gone, and we're run by our government. That explains why a good portion of men hate women. Let me explain. See, the workforce is mainly uh, the workforce in the West is mainly consistent of either immigrants or women. And so, if they have most of the jobs taking them from the American men, then of course you can't afford a house. Of course you can't keep up with the cost of living. Of course you can't maintain a job that is having a decent wage. It's because either an immigrant is working a job or women are working these jobs. I was listening to a soldier the other day, and he's in his 50s, and he said DEI and all this other crazy stuff was back in the day. So this is a plan that's been going on for years, guys. This isn't something that's just happened with the left with Joe Biden. He introduced diversity, equity, and inclusion. No, this has been going on since the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, and we've gotten to a space now. We're seeing the the chickens coming home to roost. If I said that saying correctly, we're seeing the evidence of this stuff coming in society right now. We're seeing the effects of it. So you hate women. Well, it's not that you hate women. It's just that you can't get a decent job to buy a house, to buy a good car that shows that you're fit to attract women because women are out working you. And it's because these businesses and the government has it that way. What's going on, Zaire? The government wants to be the father to your child. The government wants to be the husband to your wife. This is why when you get a marriage, you have to go to what? The state. You got to get a marriage license. Now, why would I want the government in my love life? And they've made it to where you have to damn near get it because You guys, if you, they don't validate your marriage unless or your property and your will and all this other stuff, unless you have that marriage license. The government has taken over your life, and you don't even realize it. Whenever, whenever you impregnate a woman, who she run to? The government. I need child support. The lawyers, all that stuff, that's government. Cops, that's government. And I'm not talking bad on any of these people. You need to know a good cop. You need to know a good lawyer. But they're all agents of the government. We've gotten to a space to where the government has overreached its bounds. Introvert says, I know it sucks, but this is America. You have to abide by the culture to a certain degree. But it wasn't always like this, introvert. Like we didn't always have property taxes and all these things. Even that's a whole other thing. Property taxes. People talk about, well, my house is an investment. How is it an investment? You'll never own it. You can pay off the mortgage, but if you don't pay off you'll never pay off the property taxes because they penciled that in. And the moment that you stop paying the property taxes, that's when they take your house. So people that can be fully retired right now, and depending on your local municipality and your government, if they want to build a new school, they want to build this or that, or have more infrastructure, they take that money out of the taxes. And so what? Your property taxes are going to shoot up. So people be retired, you know, fully retired, collecting their Social Security, 401k, um, IRA if you have one. And the moment that property tax shoots up to a percentage that they can't maintain, they lose their house. Because the property tax is always going to go up. It's always going to go up, bro. And so it's just like when people say you're not gonna own anything and be happy. That's what they're talking about. Introvert just said, even tax-paying civilians don't fool with the cops, not just street cats. That's a fact because you can't trust them to get their job done, and we underestimate how much gray area that between the crime and the cops coming to find them. That's a tremendous amount of gray area. Introvert says, um, shout out to Zaire. He says, shout out to Miles. Introvert says, further writes, he said, exactly. You can't even get married without the government getting involved. As I stated previously, we're run by the government. I mean, exactly, bro. The government, see, the women respect the government more than they respect you. That's why they run to the government when shit gets bad. They want government assistance. Have you guys been looking at these women? These women be fully living in nice homes in HOA communities and be living off pay stamp, living off uh, government programs. Most things are unlikely to stay around. Hell, we're at the breaking point if we're being honest. And like you were alluding to earlier, Brandy, like capitalism, and unfortunately, America was started off of greed, right? We think it's racism that slavery started. Nah, the only reason like they did that is because of greed. really. It's the root of it. They want to maximize profits. But capitalism is a good system. You know, it allows you to get to a space to where you can go from a rags to riches story. You can start off with nothing, but if you have a good work ethic and intelligence, uh, you can get and earn a good amount of money. But here's the catch to capitalism: if you don't teach integrity, business ethics within the culture of the whatever society, if you don't embed that within the culture, capitalism can get out of hand to the point to where it is now, where everybody's lying, cheating, and deceiving you. You can't trust your boss. He's like, yeah, well, I'll get you a raise. I'll get you a raise next year. You know, you just keep grinding. You get there. Well, you ask him, well, where's the raise at? Well, you know, like I told you guys about my dentist story. I went to the dentist and my teeth are perfectly healthy. I don't have any pain or problems or anything. I floss my teeth every day, brush my teeth twice a day. And these people come up and say, I have four cavities out of nowhere. Completely insane. It's because lying and cheating is everywhere. Hell, you can't even trust your doctors. Depending on what doctors you go to, they're prone to misdiagnose you and giving you medications that you don't even need. Like, bro, you're getting scammed at every level. Like, listen to you guys know I have a CDL, right? So check this out, and I'll read the comments in a second. I'm talking to a guy, and he's like, you know what the crazy part is about trucking is, um, you know, these companies will call you and say, hey, we need a driver, you said driver, to go pick up our product from this company and bring our product back to us at this warehouse. And the truck driver would be okay. And then the business that the truck driver is delivering to, they'll charge them a lumper fee. And it's just like, bro, how are you going to charge me for something that's your product? That don't make any sense. That don't make no sense at all. That's like your friend saying, "Hey, bro, I got I know you live by the post office. Can you pick up my mail right there?" And then you pick the mail up, and then you take it to him, and then your friend's like, "Well, in order to receive my mail, I need to charge you um, a $5 service fee." They don't. It doesn't make any sense, guys. Everything in society right now is damn near cheating you and scamming you. College is a scam. Brandy writes, and the most crazy thing about it is that we didn't want any of these rules, but on us, they were forced. Exactly. But that's the thing. As Americans, we've gotten too docile. We just accept whatever comes. The other groups of women lose their lives from childbirth. It's devastating. Yeah, I mean, I agree. There is a portion of that introvert. But what I'm saying is, I mean, this stats to back up what you're saying, especially in the legal system. But what I'm saying is, society has gotten so bad right now where it's the government versus the people at this point. It's men versus women at this point in relationships. Like the racial aspect doesn't matter anymore. I know conservative white guys that have had their cars stolen and they lost respect for the cops because and the apartment people and everything because they didn't do anything to help them. I know Latino women and all kinds of stuff that have had stuff stolen from them, and the cops didn't do anything, bro. The government didn't do anything, bro. And so we're at a space to where it's not just this. We got this racism stuff is very micro level. The macro big picture, nobody cares about anybody. It's the social war, class warfare. The rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. Nobody cares about the average person anymore. Yeah, we're divided at every level. And the more divided we are, the easier you are to conquer. I mean, have you guys been noticing how crazy the gender dynamics are right now? Like recently, have you guys been noticing that there's a percentage of women that are more ripped and in shape than the average man? I was in Fort Worth recently at a Target, and I kid you not, I'm not making this up to save my life, homie. I promise you. Right hand on the Bible. There was a woman that walked out of Target, and she in shape. She was kind of thick too. I ain't gonna lie, super thick. But shout out to the Saint. That's just saying super thick, thick with the two C's. But bruh, she had some shoulders, some manly shoulders. She had biceps and triceps, and she had the V on her. I'm like, from the waist down, you look very womanly, but from the waist up, you look like an entire man. And I keep seeing this stuff. It's like, are these women on TRT or something? They're taking HGH, they on testosterone or something, because these women are more in shape than most of the men. I'm not making this up. She walked out, homie, and she had cock diesel arms, manly arms. I'm like, ugh. But from the waist down, it was like, okay, we can do something with that. But from the waist up, you're like, oh my god, you're like a whole dude. And that just lets you know how upside down the gender dynamics is in society. Women, once they get more, they start doing more manly things, they become more manly in their physicality, not just their mentality, but in their actual physicality. I mean, whenever they call whatever they call penis envy, that is a true thing. Hell yeah, it turned me off. I'm like, bro, you got manly arms. What the hell is wrong with you? You got dude arms. But this is not a new thing, guys. Like, that's the thing. Like, we keep talking about women hitting the wall. Well, we've gotten to a space in society where women can stave off the wall a little bit longer. How many women that you see that you notice that are in their mid 30s and early 40s that still look good and still getting a whole bunch of attention? You guys remember that story I told you in a short video where this older woman, was in her 60s. My friend was at this game, and this older woman had to be in her late 50s, early 60s. She had Snapchat full of dudes. She had Bumble day naps full of dudes. And so the simp culture, all of this has gotten way out of hand, guys. We're getting to the point to where all of what we've talked about, we're at a point of no return. Relationships are at a point of no return. The government is at a point of no return. And you know what's astounding? When you deal with the cops, you deal with women, you deal with your bosses at work, you know, all your enemies come with smiles. How many times have you said, "Oh yeah, we'll help you guys. We'll get you taken care of," and they don't help you? All your friends and betrayers that become your eventual betrayers, all your family members, all of them smile in your face. What's that song? Smiling faces show no traces of the evil that lurks within. Nah, man, it ain't just R&B. It's that's like one factor of it. Simping is just simping is just dudes being thirsty. Simping is basically, um, you doing all this stuff for a woman that don't even like you, don't even really want you. You're just doing all this chivalry. You have to question all these things. Like some of this stuff was done genuinely to be like good to women, but some of this stuff was done by men because they wanted to please women and get and find a way and be nice to get into their drawers. Let's just be real. To the nice guy, he's he's trying to angle and get it through simping, tricking, being overly nice, saying whatever crazy stuff. Like you listen to these guys today. They'll blatantly lie to these women. Oh, you look fantastic today. You look the best that you ever looked. I'm just like, ugh, you lying? You lying? Introvert further writes, but I'm sure there are R&B songs that depict setting boundaries in a relationship, which is a topic that a lot of people don't touch on. I mean, well, R&B. I mean, well, Chris Brown came out. He's an R&B singer, and he came out with these, these 304s ain't loyal. So, people have to understand that all this stuff is just entertainment. None of this stuff is real. But propaganda is a real thing. These women grow up on Disney Channel, Disney movies, wanting this romanticized love, and it's just like in real life, it doesn't work like that. Excuse me. It doesn't work like that at all. The fantasies. And then, if we're being honest, men love harder than women. A woman's love is conditional, meaning that she can only love you if the conditions are being met, if the conditions and the weather is right. Men will love you regardless what happens. Why? Because we have principles of loyalty, integrity, and trust. We don't have, a man of your word is a real thing. A woman of your word is not a real thing. These women will say whatever to get you into a relationship, to get you into a marriage. They'll lie to your face. They'll lie straight to your face to get exactly what they want. Like it's ridiculous, bro. And so that's why in today's, since everybody is lying, cheating, and stealing, and scamming at every level, you know, the idea of marriage and relationship just seems like in a different universe. Because I'm not, if you're crazy to willingly trust these people today, anybody today. Women will say all kinds of stuff. They'll be like, well, back in my college days, I was a little out there, but I've changed now. Really? Have you changed? People don't really change. They conceal better. They they just get better at concealing their true intentions, their true selves. And you know what the biggest lie women tell you is? You guys want to know what the biggest lie a woman will tell you? Exactly. And them dudes be in sexless relationships, still saying they still love her and will do anything for her and all this stuff. Men love harder than women. That's a fact. I don't care what nobody says. I wish I would be in a sexist relationship or marriage. That don't even make sense to me. But do you guys want to know what the biggest lie a woman will tell you? The biggest lie. Oh, you're okay, Brandy. Oh, you're okay. I know people got things they're dealing with in their own lives. Yeah, women are predators, and that's the problem. A lot of guys don't see them as predators until it's too late. But the biggest lie a woman will tell you is that women will lie about who they are. Men will lie about what they have. But a woman who knows, a woman who knows she's been promiscuous in her past and knows that's not the best thing um, for her or for any man that knows her, she knows it's not a good thing, but she'll lie about it. Women lie about who they actually are. And what's crazy is what makes that lie so big is because you can't really change who you are. Your personality is who you are. Brandon said that's the problem. Yeah, we're in a crazy time, guys. You know, what a time to be alive. We're on track to see some of the most craziest stuff known to man. Exactly. And Brandy, we're already seeing some of the most craziest stuff. It's getting to the point, even just like with the clothing, I'm just like, you guys might as well just walk to the gym naked. You might as well just walk in society naked. These women be saying they strong and independent, and then they have a whole link tree on their Instagram page. Weird times, man. Exactly, introvert. Women can do no wrong today. That's what makes them dangerous. especially if you pick the wrong one, because she's not going to get no consequences in the end. She can cheat on you in the relationship, and the judge will still tell you to your face. The government will still tell you to your face that, I see, we have video footage of her having sex with this other guy, but you still need to be a man and give her half your stuff. And you're like, Your Honor, well, she cheated. Why do I have to give anything up? Well, we can't leave her out there to dry. Brandy writes, most of the time we can't even tell if it's just our eyes playing tricks or it's actually something that's going on. Oh no, that people that are saying that to you, they're gaslighting you. You know what you see in society, how bad it is. Believe your eyes. To the gym isn't. Well, basically, the way these women do that, how they dress in the gym is it's indecent exposure. Well, what makes women, yeah, they've always been predators, right? I mean, there's been stories of, that's even in the Bible where Joseph, he didn't want to sleep with the queen, so she made up a lie, and she got pretty much got him sent to a different asylum or a different prison or something like that. And so, I mean, the predatory nature of women have always been there in society. Um, it's just astronomically high right now is because women have no accountability and they will get no consequences from their actions. They're playing the game. They're like on 2K when you have a point guard that can shoot, dribble, dunk. You have a point guard that's like 6'9" that's fast, strong, shoot, can dunk. They're damn near unstoppable. Like, what's truly keeping a woman at bay today in today's society? She always knows she can get another man because a simp will show up. Now, granted, she's not gonna like the simp, she's not gonna respect the simp, but it's a dude's a dude, right? You'd rather have a body than nobody, right? And plus, there's always someone there to save them. The government's on their side. So, yep. Let me go back through my notes again. I think we touched everything that I want to touch about in today's live stream. It seems like a lot of people can identify, and I'm noticing that the people that are watching this live stream, a lot of you guys can identify and see the problems that are happening in society. And if you didn't, hopefully this live stream gave you guys a better insight to what's really going on. Um, you know, Unfortunately, the government has overstepped its boundaries. Its relationships have gotten out of control, and since the government has overstepped its boundaries, it's caused a lot of different problems in our society to occur. And that's the problem. We can't depend on them take their actions seriously. So as a guy, when a woman makes a threat on you, you need to take all threats seriously. When a woman says, I was watching someone with Aaron the plumber, and apparently he made some woman mad or something, he did it wrong or something. Who knows? But she had went viral for like saying that she's gonna get some attack dogs, her some dudes she know, um, to come and get him. That's a real legitimate threat because there is a portion of men out there that will do whatever a woman says they. Uh, that just lets you know how much of a matriarchy we are in. There's some men out here that will blindly do whatever a woman tells them to do. The true hyena culture. Uh, and these are what you call the crash outs. It's crazy, man. But that's my live stream for today. I appreciate you guys coming in here and kicking it with me this weekend. Um, Next weekend, I'm probably going to do 3 live streams, especially since we're on the 4th of July. So you guys be on the lookout for that. Um, Again, you guys try to have a good day, good week. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. As you guys exit the building, please do not hesitate to hit the like button, comment your thoughts. I appreciate all you guys coming in here and supporting me on a consistent basis. Everybody that showed up. And so, thank you. I appreciate you. And Introvert said something, and we'll leave after this. After I acknowledge what he said. Some NBA players' Caucasian girlfriend's wife or whatever she was threatened over the text to cut his so he won't play basketball ever again. You can't make this up. I did see that. That's that Dylan Brooks situation. And she ordered a restraining, and he ordered a restraining order on that. Did he ever receive it? I didn't ever look too deep into that story. But do you know, Introvert, if he ever received it? Excuse me. If he ever got that granted restraining order against her? Hell, any woman today, homie. It ain't just them. It's any woman today. It's any woman today. Yeah, don't create any errors in your critical thinking, bro. It's all of them. I didn't seen white, black, Latino, Asian, all of them do some foul stuff to dudes, bro. So there's some truth to that. But the matriarchy is gonna give the advantage to the woman over the man, no matter what race of man. But there's some truth in what you're saying. But all right, guys, you guys want to come back in here as I'm about to exit off? Huh? I'm gonna have to extend these live streams to get to the point to where we can go, an hour and a half, 2 hours on the live streams. These live streams ain't no jokes. Just been up here talking for an hour. So yep, I appreciate you guys again for coming in here. And you guys be on the lookout for my short videos this week. I'm going to drop a YouTube short in about a few hours. But you guys have a good day. I will see you guys in the next one, man. Peace. hit the like button as you guys exit out of here. I appreciate it.